back in baseball town for one final time this summer. Fans, thank you so much for tuning in. Emily Messina bringing you all the action this 2022 season from America's Classic Ballpark. The Reading Fightin Phils wrap up their series against the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, the Blue Jays AA affiliate. They won last night in fashion, a walk-off wild pitch in the bottom of the 10th, but before that, Carlos De La Cruz, a triple that scored 2 runs and tied the game. And so now they lead the series 4-1. And looking to make that 5-1 here, inching closer towards 500 baseball at the end of the summer. The Fightin Phils sit 30-32 in the second half. The Fisher Cats 22-40, and Reading bringing out the big gun today in their number 2 prospect, righty Mick Abel. He's also number 57 overall on MLB Pipeline's prospect list. Righty Jimmy Robbins will go head-to-head with him out on the rubber for the Fisher Cats as we wrap up Sunday, September 11th, the final game here at home, and then we'll have 6 more games on the road in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Big day for the Fightins. Not great weather, as it's been drizzling and raining pretty much the entire day, but I think it's cleared up enough that we should be able to get our last game in, and we've got a few of our strongest fans out of the ballpark supporting us here as we wrap up the season with a post-game fireworks show and lots of fun to go on the contest today. The Fightin Phils will have Mick Abel on the rubber as he throws down to Herbert Iser back behind the dish. Out in left field, Jalen Ortiz. In right, Johan Rojas. In center, Johan Rojas. And in right, Carlos De La Cruz. Out at third base, McCarthy Tatum, Jonathan Guzman, the shortstop, Wendell Rijo, the second baseman, and Aldrim Corridor will be over at first. Ray Valero calling the balls and strikes behind the dish. Evan Johnson is down the first base line, and Mike Snover is the umpire and the crew chief, who is down to the third base line. Right now, it's a little bit drizzly out, nothing that can't be managed as fans are sitting down in front. When everybody moves back closer to me under the roof, then I'll know it's gotten to the point where it's really annoying. But so far, not too bad out today. And really no wind. The flag out in center field hanging down by the pole. The lights are on as it's overcast, and the sky is all one gray. And so interested to see if that has any impact on the contest. Hopefully not in terms of defense, but it is tough sometimes to find the baseball in the sky. The Fightin Phils, as always on Sundays, dressed as the Reading Hot Dogs, wearing these red jersey tops with the yellow-capped mustard sleeves and the yellow print. The hot dog cap, which is blue, and a red brim with the Hot Dogs logo across the front. And the Fisher Cats switching back to their navy jersey tops with the red brim cap and the navy base with the Fisher Cats logo on the front and the road gray pants. Mick Abel coming down from the bullpen for the Fightins, hanging out in the dugout here as we get ready to get started in baseball town. And here he comes, heading out to the dish and onto the rubber for one final time at America's Classic Ballpark. Your Reading Fightin Phils will take the field, and we will throw it down for the singing of the national anthem, and then be right back up for first pitch in baseball town.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. We invite all active military and all veterans to please salute the flag. And now, please welcome the president of FirstEnergy One Presentation. He has autism and is a speaker, believer, and advocate for autism. Please welcome Ben Hartrandt, who will perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wreck where the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er
and gentlemen, that's Ben Hartman.
Ready to rock and roll in baseball town for one final time here as Mick Abel picks up the baseball, and he's ready to warm up here at FirstEnergy Stadium. The flag down at half-mast because September 11th, as we pay tribute to all those lives that lost and forever changed, and all those who sacrificed themselves to make a difference for others, and we remember those today. Fightin' Phil's looking for a victory here on a getaway day for the Fisher Cats and to wrap up their home stint. They've been very impressive at home this season. They've got a better record there, 36-32 here at America's Classic Ballpark, and have been much better in the second half, so looking to continue that as we go down the stretch. We'll have 6 more games out in Altoona against the Pirates affiliate before we wrap things up. And the lights have come on at FirstEnergy Stadium, and the fireworks shot off in center field. Mick Abel, the reigning Eastern League Pitcher of the Week after throwing 5 shutout innings against the Hartford Yard Goats last week, just gave up a hit and 3 walks, struck out 8 in his third AA start, and now in here is 4th. Just 21 years old. The Phillies' number 2 prospect was drafted in the first round in 2020. And he's had a really good season. He's pitched 21 games, started 21 games overall, recording 8 wins for a 3.91 ERA. He's thrown 99 innings of work, so he's certainly going to reach that century mark here today with 121 strikeouts. Now that strikeout count ranks him second in the entire Phillies farm system, just behind Andrew Painter, who has a whopping 150. And the 99 innings of work put him 5th in the farm system, and a chance to jump up a couple of steps here with this start, depending on how long the Phillies give him today, pitch count-wise, innings-wise, and how he produces. Cam Eden leaving things off for the Fisher Cats. Addison Barger batting second, or Elvis Martinez in the 3-hole, and Sebastian Espino cleaning things up. First pitch of the game, Mick Abel misses outside, 5:18 p.m. here in Reading, PA, 95 with the fastball. Glad we're able to get started in baseball town. Upstairs, checking his swing on the appeal. He doesn't go around. And 2-0 the count. Currently 69 degrees here in Reading, overcast and a bit wet as a called strike grazes the outside corner. 96 with the fastball there by Mick. Big leg kick by the righty. And Eden chases a 95-mile-an-hour fastball up and away and evens the count 2-2. Infield, outfield, back deep for the Fightins here. First batter of the game. 2-2 inside full count. There's always kids in the pool, no matter the weather, no matter the game. They make sure that's the spot to be. It's probably warmest out there. The pool's 85 degrees down the right field line. Here's the payoff pitch. Ball 4, up and away, and Abel will walk the first batter he sees. And now there's a runner on and nobody out.
Designated hitter number 20, Addison Barger.
Here's Addison Barger, who's been having himself a heck of a series, batting .307 after coming off the injured list to start this week. Aldrum Corridor holding the runner on here. Abel focused on the batter. He comes inside to the lefty, Barger. A couple of roster moves today within the organization as Madison Stokes getting the promotion up to AAA. Here's a 1-0 runner going. The throw down by Iser is a little off the bag, and sliding in safely is Cam Eden. So he breaks up the double play, gets his 28th stolen base of the season, and puts himself into scoring position as Barger took a swinging strike. Stokes was supposed to start for the Iron Pigs today out in center field, but their game unfortunately got rained out. Now the AAA season does go another 10 games from ours, so they will play again at Coca-Cola Park. Here's the 1-1. Swinging strike by Barger, down 1-2. And so the Phillies brought up Sal Gazzo from High A Jersey Shore. Obviously, we've seen Gazzo quite a bit this summer, spending most of the time on our roster, but nice to have him back here to finish out the season and hopefully head to Altoona with us. The 1-2 outside, evening 2-2. The Jersey Shore Blue Claws, our high A affiliate, wrapped up their season today with a big 11-3 win over Aberdeen, recording 11 hits. Going out with the bang are the Blue Claws, so that is very exciting for our high A affiliate to wrap up. They finish a week before us. This is lined into right field. De La Cruz is going to come for it. Being held at third is Eden as he throws it in quickly. Good backup by Mick Abel there to snag the baseball. And there's runners on the corners with nobody out. Threatening here are the Fisher Cats. Clearwater having a tough time. Their season ending with a literal bang. They got rained out again for like the 5th time this week. I don't know how they do it. That's crazy. The Fightins have one more week on the road at Altoona, so we finish up at home this week, and the Iron Pigs have another 16 games, I believe. They're still in a playoff push in the International League as Elvis Martinez steps in and takes the ball upstairs. I'm trying to determine if it's drizzling at all or that has stopped. People are still sitting out in it, so it can't be raining too hard. That's 1-0. Misses outside, 2-0. I always try to look into the lights or on top of the dugouts. And I don't think, if there's any precipitation going on right now, it is very light. Runners on the corners, nobody out, no score. Top of the first. A big swinging strike by Elvis Martinez, and it is 2-1. Hasn't done much of anything this series. A walk in yesterday's game, otherwise 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Did have a hit and a run scored on Thursday night. Couple of hits and a sac fly in the doubleheader. There's a ball into Martinez, and Mick Abel in danger of walking the bases loaded here in the 1st inning. It's pretty good out of the stretch, though, the 3-1. Sky-high pop-up. It's going to be in the infield. Playable for Wendell Rijo at second. He comes over and makes a big catch, and that is a huge out, number 1 for Mick. Now the double play ball is in contention for 2 outs with 1 pitch, looking to keep things scoreless in the 1st. Just trying to settle in sometimes, with the difficult weather, playing a night game on Sunday. It's been a long summer. Get that first out, you can kind of take a big deep breath. Here's Sebastian Espino from the right side. Again, runners on the corners. It's Eden on third and Barger on first. Called strike on the inside corner, 96. Pickoff attempt, tag by Corridor, they got him. Mick Abel picks off Addison Barger for out number 2. A huge move by the pitcher, and they nail him at first. Good pickoff move there, very athletic. And now there's just a runner on third with 2 away, and an 0-1 count here to the batter, Espino. Fly ball out to center field. Johan Rojas finding it in the sky. On the run. There it is. Mick Abel walks the batter, gives up a hit, but he gets out of the inning scoreless. Talk about cool, calm, and collected for the 21-year-old. Puts up a 0 in the top of the first. On to the bottom half. Reading will look to get on the board early. The Seidel Auto Group Deck Picnic appeals to both die-hard and casual fans with its summer picnic-like and fun tailgate atmosphere. During your picnic, you may even catch a souvenir, as the area is situated directly in prime home run territory behind the left field wall. Regular season tickets are $30 per person for groups of 20 or more, and children 4 and under are free. Visit Fightins.com/groups or call 610-370-BALL to reserve your group outing today.
Golden Oaks is an award-winning high-end golf club that offers golfers a country club experience without country club prices. With 5 sets of tees, golfers of every skill level will enjoy their game. Golden Oaks has Bogey's Pub, a beautiful pro shop, driving range, and learning center that will make any visit complete. Golden Oaks Golf Club is the perfect venue for private events and golf outings. Visit us for our newly opened golf simulators, complete with its own bar area and Bogey's Pub menu items available. You can stay in our beautifully restored 1850s farmhouse and then play our award-winning championship golf course. Each room includes full amenities, cable television, and quaint rustic decor. While on the premises, visit Bogey's Pub for lunch, dinner, or a relaxing beverage. We're ready to serve you here at Golden Oaks and look forward to the 2022 season.
Leading off for the Reading Hot Dog.
Into the bottom of the first we go. Mick Abel had some traffic on the base pass, but he handled it like a champ and put up a 0 in the top of the first. So on to the bottom half are the Fightin' Phils. Offensively, Johan Rojas leading it off as always. Carlos de la Cruz batting second. Wendell Rijo in the 3-hole, and Jalen Ortiz cleaning things up. It's Jimmy Robbins, the lefty, will throw inside for a called strike. Carl Ellison back behind the dish, the former Phillies player, or Blue Claws and Iron Pigs, I should say. He never made it here to Reading, making his baseball town debut for the opposing team. Ripped foul down the third baseline. Rojas down 0-2. Out and left, making his double-day debut, Robert Robertus. In center, Cam Eden, and in right, Will Robertson. Over at third, Hugo Cardona. Elvis Martinez at short, Angel Del Rosario at second, and Sebastian Espino out at first. Time is called by the batter. It's granted as Rojas steps back in the righty batter's box. Robbins making his fourth start here in Double-A. He's played in 3 different levels this season. 0-2 by the lefty. This is shot foul into the grandstand. He'll keep his count. Robbins, just 24 years old, a 20th round pick back in 2019 out of Rollins College in Florida. The 0-2 again inside. Checks his swing on the appeal. He doesn't go around. A back foot slider that misses in there. A 3.03 ERA on the year for Robbins, having a very impressive, just his second professional season in 19 games, appeared in 13 of them starts, 65 and a third innings for the Southpaw. Rojas sends this foul the opposite way this time. Started the summer on the injured list, but came back still in the month of April. Began the season out in Dunedin in their low A, then moved to high A Vancouver, and now here in Double A. Inside, does it hit him? Yeah. Oof. Trying to catch his breath here will prompt a visit from the trainer, Andy Dodson, as the manager, Sean Williams, coming over. That just clipped him either right in the stomach or in the groin. Both very sensitive areas. And he'll get a free pass to first as a hit by pitch allows the leadoff batter to reach. Rojas receiving the Pepsi Stolen Base Leader Award here as our player awards were handed out pregame. We'll talk about it. You guys will get, anybody at the park and anybody listening on the air will get first pass to who won the Players Award before it goes public to the press. But he obviously won the Stolen Base Leader Award, 27 here in Reading, 33 in Double-A, so 60 on the season. And what's crazy is that there hasn't been a Phillies minor leaguer with more than 50 stolen bases since 2009 with Anthony Gose. And so, that's really significant. I mean, and his speed not just coming with the extra bases that he steals, but his impressive work in the outfield as well, getting to balls that making routine plays that other people couldn't even get to, and then making, extravagant diving plays that most people wouldn't even consider possible. And looks like he's going to be able to stay in this game as he's unloading all of his extra equipment here to the trainer, Andy Dodson, and wrapping up a couple things, putting on his little oven mitt for a sliding glove, that's what I call it. And on a hit by pitch, the Fightin' Phils will have a pass down to first, and a guy that you really don't want to let on the base pass for free. Trying to walk it off a little bit here. A little gingerly. As he gets the cheers of the crowd, he walks down to first. He'll stay put in this ball game. And the Fightins have a runner on with nobody out for the hottest hitter on their team, Carlos De La Cruz, who has raised his batting average to .290 with his triple last night, his first of the season, scoring 3 out of the 5 runs for the Fightin' Phils, or driving in 3 out of the 5 runs for the Fightin' Phils. And in the last 10 games, De La Cruz batting .317. Rojas trying to see if he's okay to run down at first. The trainer's still out here. He doesn't want to come out of this game. He's not one of those guys. If he can stay in, he will. But they want to make sure he's good to run. Obviously, you don't want to have somebody out there that's... you don't want to injure one of your top players, and you need someone good on the base pass, and he seems all good as Dodson heads back into the dugout. So a runner on first for Carlos De La Cruz as he heads up into the righty batter's box. A lefty on righty matchup here. Looking over at first is Robbins. He's got a better vantage point. Nope, Rojas is going. A bad throw to first, and he slides in safely. They don't even throw it to second. A head-first dive, number 28 here in Reading, 61 on the season, proving exactly why he's got that Pepsi Stolen Base Leader award. And there is a runner on first. Or a runner on second now in scoring position here with nobody out, and Carlos De La Cruz, who hasn't even seen a pitch yet. Del Rosario hanging out near the bag at second as De La takes one inside for a called strike. Out on second, Rojas takes a sizable lead. Already gotten himself into scoring position. Certainly the kind of guy that can manufacture runs here, especially early in this ballgame. He's going to be aggressive. The 0-1, De La Cruz sends foul. Overcast skies here. It's really foggy in the mountains beyond the right field wall. I think we should be good on precipitation as far as the radar goes, but I guess you never know. Especially with Lehigh Valley getting rained out. Philly was in the longest delay. I didn't even see if they picked things up. They were stuck in the third with a 1-run lead off the bat of Bryce Harper. Here's the 0-2. De La Cruz goes down swinging, and there is out number 1. In the bottom half, no score at America's Classic Ballpark, and it looks like that game is still in a delay. I know they probably want to get that in, wrap up the series against the Nationals, maybe try to pick up another win and move up some ground in the wild card standings. Phillies looking for a red October if they can get it. And I know interim manager Rob Thompson said they'd wait around all day to play if they could, because tomorrow's an off day and you don't want to kind of ruin that. Have to play tomorrow. There's a called strike on the outside corner to Wendell Rijo. And Rijo was named this team's MVP prior to the game, the most valuable player for all of his hard work this season, batting .264 with 85 hits, despite missing almost a month of the season. Looking back at second is Robbins. Now he comes home. A hefty swinging strike on an off-speed pitch brings it down 0-2, and a well-deserved award going to Rijo, not only for his work on the field, but also his positive attitude, his leadership in the clubhouse and in the dugout, and his all-around presence here on this team. Even being signed as a free agent, you'd never know, because he gets along so well with everybody. And there's a called strike 3. Rijo caught looking, has a word with Valero back behind the plate, and back-to-back punch-outs puts 2 on the board here for Jalen Ortiz. Fisher Cats had runners on in the top of the half of the first, but they couldn't drive anybody in. Fightins have a runner on at second here, looking to get ahead. There's been a lot of runners left on at base this series. And here's Jalen Ortiz from the right side. Off-speed pitch misses outside. Had Tommy John surgery back in 2021, so that's why he kind of started the season on the injured list, was rehabbing, and was able to come back and had a good season so far. Ortiz pops this up, shallow left. Roberta's coming in, going back. Martinez, he's called off by the left fielder, and the play is made. So the Fightin' Phils get a runner on second, but they can't drive in a run scoreless. Into the second we go in Baseball Town.
The Reading Fightin' Phils are proud to partner with the Berks County Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities Program. Together, we are striking out the stigma in order to raise community awareness about mental illness and the prevention of suicide. With 3 simple words, "Are you okay?" the hope is to begin a conversation to show Berks County that we care. Suicide affects and hurts everyone, but help is here, and we'll work together to help raise awareness about suicide and identify what we can do as a community to prevent it. People in need of assistance and support should call Crisis Intervention at 610-236-0530. That's 610-236-0530.
Berks Immunization Coalition works to provide leadership and education in promoting age-appropriate immunization across the lifespan for all residents of Berks County. This is a coalition comprised of local physicians, nurse practitioners, school nurses, immunization coordinators, immunization advocates, and pharmaceutical representatives working to encourage continuity of immunization through medical resources. They focus on educating both the community and the providers. For more information, please visit www.immunizeba.org. Click Local Coalitions.
Into the top of the second we go scoreless, despite both teams having runners on the base pass in the first. As Mick Abel comes out, we'll see the lefty Will Robertson to start things off. A swinging strike. Abel needed 18 offerings to get out of the first. He walked a batter and gave up a hit, but he picked somebody off, and he put up 2 balls in the air to record out. It's a check swing by Roberts, but he doesn't go around 1-1. Abel hits right at the knees for a called strike. He'll feature a full repertoire of pitches here today, a fastball that sits mid-90s, although we've seen it up to 96 consistently today, as well as a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. And there is strike 3 to Will Robertson. He records his first punch out here in the second for out number 1. And here is Carl Ellison with 1 away. Got a special guest with me on the air, Kevin McCarthy, the video coordinator for the Fisher Cats. Lots of New Hampshire guests with me this week, but I'm glad you could provide some perspective.
Thanks for having me on, Emily. I'm excited.
Ellison steps in on the right side. Abel kicks and fires some high heat 95 upstairs for a swinging strike. So you tell me downstairs, you've got Painter and Abel to face. What are the vibes about that?
Surprisingly, excitement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1 outside, 1-1.
Yeah, the guys are excited for the challenge. 2 really good pitchers that will probably make their way up pretty soon. So, no, it's a good challenge.
Here's the 1-1. Sky high pop-up right side of the infield. Wendell Reho tracking back just a couple steps on the grass. And there he is to make the catch for out number 2. So already a much more efficient inning by Abel as Hugo Cardona will come up to bat. I know what you mean because we saw Max Scherzer in rehab earlier this season. And, you know, I think for the most part everyone was really excited to try to hit off Scherzer as opposed to being like really scared to do so.
Yeah. Everybody knows the numbers, but it's scary anyways.
Cardona misses. Pitch misses downstairs, 1-0. So how's the week been in Reading?
It's been a fun week. Yeah.
1-0 below the knees.
Not quite the results we've wanted.
Well, we've had some very competitive games, that's for sure.
They've been good games. Yeah, back and forth. Exciting.
3 extra inning contests. Oof. Turning his body to the side. The 2-0. Big cut and miss by Cardona. He really carried your team yesterday. Had a home run and an RBI single early in the contest. Not necessarily a power hitter, but he really smoked that ball, the 2-1, just outside 3-1. What was that like?
Exciting for him. He came up not too long ago, and he's made a couple adjustments to the better pitching.
Here's the 3-1. Abel hits right on the corner with that slider, and now the count is full. You guys have a couple of younger players on your roster. I know we do too, but how has that been going here with serious AA competition? The payoff pitch, a called strike 3, and that will be that. McAbel bookends the frame with 2 strikeouts, and he puts up a 0 on the scoreboard. We got to go for the hot dog frame, but then we'll be right back in the bottom of the second, scoreless at America's Classic Ballpark. Caught a hot dog, so you know it's going to be a good game in between innings from the crazy hot dog vendor. Last one of the season, can't believe it.
That was a great catch.
Thank you so much. They actually threw one into your dugout. Who was that was calling out for it?
Yeah, there was a couple of guys, I think Barger and Allen and Schultz.
It's exciting. It is electric. Ethan Wilson takes a called strike inside and then a ball outside to start off his at-bat. Scoreless in the bottom of the second at America's Classic Ballpark. The lefty Robbins needed just 14 pitches to get out of the first inning with a hit by pitch. This is chopped off the end of the bat, foul. Robbins has been in 3 levels this season.
He's
That's
been
pretty big jumps.
Yeah, he's been cruising. He's coming off the injured list in 2021. And, started in Dunedin, pitched really well, went to Vancouver, pitched really well there, and he's been good since he's been here, too. It's been impressive.
So in most cases, the jump from high A to double A is probably considered the biggest jump in levels. Double A is widely known as kind of the make or break level, especially in this organization. I think the 1-2 late to the pitch was Ethan Wilson. And there is out number 1 to start off the second. Strikeout number 3 for Robbins. And here's Aldrin Corridor from the left side. But I imagine it's even bigger in your organization because high A is played in Vancouver. And so that must be a really interesting kind of movement for these guys.
Yeah, it's a long travel day. It's a full day. And then
right.
Yeah, and then I've been told it takes a couple days before you start feeling yourself again.
Corridor from the left side. Takes the ball down and away.
Yeah,
right, so you have to do like all the jet lag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Position players isn't too bad, but the pitchers, it's a little harder.
hits on the corner. 91 there with the fastball, Robbins. So as a native of Canada, what would you say is the biggest difference? Because we had one Canadian on our team, and the most exciting thing was when we went to Erie, there was the coffee shop that he really liked.
Tim Hortons.
Down at the knees for a call strike. Tim Hortons, right.
Yeah.
Noah Skirao. I think that was like
Okay.
the best week for him. So what's it been like for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll let you call the pitch first.
Glove at the chest. The lefty takes a step back. The 1-2 just outside. Good frame by Carl Ellison, but he doesn't get the call he's looking for, and it evens 2-2. One out here in the bottom of the second. No score in Baseball Town.
Yeah, the biggest thing has been finding out where to eat.
Okay.
That's been the biggest difference for me. I have no
Is
idea
the food
what.
different?
Not the food, but the
2-2.
restaurants.
Fastball upstairs, and he gets corridor to chase. Back-to-back strikeouts. 4 Ks for Robbins here. And here's McCarthy Tatum with 2 away.
Restaurants.
Just the restaurants?
Yeah. The food is similar, but fast food is the same. But if you want a sit-down restaurant, it's
You got to figure out what's good.
yeah. I'm still searching.
Well, I think that's a thing, too, with probably working in baseball, is that you move around so much. We're in a different city every week.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to consistently try to find new spots or ask around, like, what's good here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tatum takes the ball inside.
Great first name.
McCarthy. Inside corner 1-1. We have a couple good names between our two teams. We've got McCarthy Tatum. We had Madison Stokes. We have Albertus Barber. You guys have a new player, Robert Robertus. That's solid. Tatum tied up on the inside, shoots it back foul, and the count moves now 1-2.
Yeah, it's a great name, Robert Robertus.
That's solid. Did you get a chance to talk to him? Young 19-year-old making his AA debut. That's got to be a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, he got here yesterday. He was very nervous. A lot of new things here for him.
1-2. Called strike 3. Ellison already heading back to the dugout. And Robbins strikes out the side to get out of the second clean. So on to the third we go, scoreless in Baseball Town. We can keep going if you want to go for right
Sure.
to break.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you have a couple. You have Del Rosario, who's 19 too.
Yeah.
And Robertus.
Yeah, I think it would be a big change for them. They're both from the Latin American countries, and then haven't been out of Florida really. So this would be a big change for them. Yeah.
Luckily, there's a big community on the teams, and even like our players have been talking to each other the entire series. So there's no animosity. You have a couple buddies you can at least talk to.
Yeah, exactly. A couple people that have been there before. We've got a really good player, really good Latin player, Luis de los Santos. Really, same as Juan Nunez, I guess, really good at bringing those young guys in and making them feel comfortable. And of course, our manager, Cesar Martin, does yeah. But they're comfortable. They've met the guys before. They've been around them. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. So they're excited to be here, and we're excited to see what they can do.
And one final week in the season here, we hit the road to travel to Altoona, and you guys are back at home.
Back at home against Harrisburg next week. Yep.
Ending the season in New Hampshire. Iser throws down to second, and it goes into the outfield. Scoreless. Top of the third coming up here in Baseball Town. Mick Abel gets another inning of work. 31 pitches for the righty, 27 for Robbins through 2. And both starters sat down the order 1-2-3 after a little bit of a rocky first inning. Shaking off maybe some nerves, maybe some weather-related conditions, as Robertus has his first at-bat here in AA, taking a swinging strike inside 94 by Abel 0-1. Yesterday we saw Del Rosario get his first AA hit. Righty comes inside again. There's a called strike, emphatic by Valero back behind the plate.
Yeah, Angel was really excited yesterday after that hit. Yeah.
It's monumental. Here's the 0-2. Popped up, left side, foul.
Yeah, we're hoping Robert can do the same today?
Well, unfortunately, I'm hoping not.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Understandable.
He could do it next week in Harrisburg. I wouldn't mind. A little bit of a shift on the lefty batter. Sends this back onto the roof, keeping his count at 0-2. He made a catch and left, though, so maybe you just get the ball and you can take a deep breath, routine play.
Settle down.
Easy does it. Here's the 0-2. Again, making contact, fouling it back.
He had a really good year down in the
That's
in the
awesome.
rookie league. So I think this is a good opportunity for him to kind of get a taste of a much higher level.
And you get a little extra playing time down the stretch. The 0-2 Chase is an off-speed pitch. He does get a piece of it to stay alive. Those lower levels are wrapping up today. High A, low A, they're all completed. We have another week, and then AAA another 16 days. So, an opportunity for some younger guys to keep playing as the 0-2 is swung through, and Abel will pick up a strikeout here to start off the third inning. Strikeout number 3 for the righty. Here is Angel Del Rosario, and you will see some, late moves from AA with a couple players going up to AAA, you think, down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. I would expect that to hold true for us as well. Probably a pitcher and a position player.
And even after that, a bunch of guys will still continue training with the team. I know we have instructs, a couple guys going to the Arizona Fall League, and then a bunch of players going out to play winter ball. So 1-0 called strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
I've heard a lot of good things about winter ball, the atmosphere that's created there.
I've heard really good things. 1-1 hits the corner again. Abel with that slider pounding the outside part of the plate, 1-2. So on our best days, on our most crowded days at FirstEnergy Stadium, there's one way down and away, 2-2. Some of the guys have told me, Wendell Rijo specifically, that this is the only stadium that feels anything like playing out in the Dominican, out in winter ball, because out there it's just so electric all the time, like nonstop. 2-2 chased, slider down and away, and Abel gets another strikeout, 3 straight as he puts up out number 2 here in the third, really settling in as he'll go back to the top of the order with Cam Eden. Have you ever seen baseball in a different country?
Well,
I guess Canada.
Yeah. A baseball crazy country? No.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like. I think it's probably awesome.
Likewise, yeah.
Coming set, glove at the chest, outside.
I've heard there's a lot of music. A lot of people singing, dancing.
My gosh, I'm sure.
Yeah. That would be a great time.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Here's a 1-0. Big chase, 1-1. So, we should talk about a couple of these rules that we've seen in the Eastern League this summer are going to make their way up to the majors next year. Maybe you can provide a little insight as it comes inside. The pitch clock being one of them.
Yep.
As far as I stand, and I think as far as the people I've talked to, that's a yes. That's a good thing. That's a positive thing. Would you say from the player side, it feels the same way now that everyone's had a full year of it? Or maybe not so much?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think.
Line drive right to McCarthy Tatum, and he makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Another 1-2-3 frame for McCarthy Tatum. We'll take a break and be back in the bottom of the third, tied at 3 at America's Classic Ballpark. Tied at 0. Jesus.
The award-winning Reading Hospital Tower Health Character Pool Party provides an unforgettable night out with your family and friends. Enjoy a baseball game while swimming in the 87-degree heated pool directly behind the right field home run wall. Plus, 2.5 hours of all-you-can-eat buffet and photos and autographs with the crazy hot dog vendor and the Fightin Phillies mascot band. Regular season tickets are $31 per person for groups of 20 or more. Give us a call today at 610-370-BALL.
For top-flight local jobs, go with who you know. J.P. Mascaro & Sons, a leading waste removal company. To meet today's employment and service demands brought on by the pandemic, Mascaro is upgrading its already highly competitive employee wage and benefit package for drivers, collection crew helpers, and other positions. Call 888-MASCARO, MASCARO, for details. Work for an established local family business committed to its employees. Again, call 888-MASCARO today or apply online at www.jpmascaro.com. Highline Merchandising, formerly Textiles, is your local small business company that provides screen printing, design, and merchandising services for local, national, and international businesses, bands, shows, and festivals, including 7-time Emmy Award-winning show Schitt's Creek and Unsolved Mysteries. Visit our website at highlinemerchandising.com. 0-0, bottom 3 at FirstEnergy Stadium. Nick Abels put up 2 1-2-3 frames back-to-back after some traffic in the first inning, so he keeps the scoreless shutout alive, and the Fightin' Phils will look to break it as Herbert Iser fouls back the first pitch he sees, although Jimmy Robbins having a pretty solid start, struck out the side back in the second.
Yeah, we touched on it. He's had a really good year, throws 4 pitches, has good command of the majority of them, so it's going to be an interesting game.
Could be a pitcher's duel here. We've seen a lot of runs on either side the past couple nights. And we were talking about the pitch clock back in the top half, and we continued our discussion a little bit over break. The biggest thing for me is if the pitch clock is in the majors, so 1-1 coming in right at the letters, 1 and 2. Is the umpire crew having feel, and the fact that the pitch clock is not regimented. Ideally it's the same way every time, but it's a human being running, so it's not going to be perfect, and each play is different. The 1-2 popped up, right side, foul territory. Espino coming over near the dugout sweep, but he makes the catch on the warning track. And there is out number 1. Here's Jonathan Guzman.
Yeah, I think you're right. Ideally it's implemented next year with the exact same 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and it's perfect every time. But we have seen it this year where in the late innings it gets a little quick, or it's monitored a little more closely. So it's, as long as the consistency is there, I like it. But that's a big issue, has been the consistency.
Called strike on the inside corner. And there's some crews that will wave things off all the time, and there's some crews that will be, really strict about it with a couple calls a series. We've kind of seen both throughout this season. The lefty comes home to the righty, takes a strike down in the dirt. 0-2. Your third baseman, Cardona, was playing in now with 2 strikes. He's going to step back a little bit. We've seen him all over the field so far this series. Is utility work a big thing with the Blue Jays? Because it is with the Phillies.
Absolutely, yeah. The more positions a guy can play.
Poked off the end of the bat, deep to right field. Coming over Robertson, he's there to make the catch, and now there's 2 as the Fightins go to the top of the order with Johan Rojas scoreless in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, the value created by playing multiple positions and getting comfortable anywhere, I guess it's valuable to the Blue Jays, but as well for the players to have the opportunity to play different positions and get to the majors in a different role.
Certainly, can help you go up the ladder a little bit quicker. We've seen that in our organization with Matt Bierling, who went up to be an outfielder, but then got an opportunity to play first base, and that's, getting those different positions has kept him in the starting lineup out in Philadelphia.
Right.
Rojas takes a strike. He was hit by a pitch last time up, stole a bag for his 28th of the season here in AA, 61st overall. He'll shoot this back foul down 0-2.
What are your thoughts on the other rules?
The other rules being the larger bases and the no shift rule. Rojas waiting for the 0-2 inside. He'll keep his count. The larger bases to me is neither here nor there. I'm not sure if you could attribute any changes to just that with the addition of the pitch clock at the same time. How can you be certain what's affecting what? As far as the shift, for me, watching the game and calling the game, I like it better this way, but I'm not a player, so I know, obviously pitchers and hitters probably feel very differently about it.
Yeah, I think even within the dugout or the bullpen, you get different. It's like a 50-50 split.
Right, obviously hitters would rather not have a shift. Pitchers would. This is chipped back up the mound, slow rolling to Del Rosario on the run, and the second baseman makes a good play for out number 3. The Fightin' Phils go down in order. Scoreless. Into the 4th we go in Baseball Town.
Tonight's White Star Fight the Fightins Think Fast game. We're here in Box 1 with tonight's contestant. This is Corey from Spring City.
Join us as we celebrate Reading's Hispanic and Latino culture during 12 Friday home games this season. With Savage 61 Fiesta Fridays presented by eXp Realty, Breakthrough Beverage, Humane Pennsylvania, Origlio Beverage, and Mal Beer. Fiesta Fridays feature special Los Luchador de Reading uniforms, Hispanic and Latino food and music, and other cultural elements throughout the ballpark. Get your tickets now by calling 610-370-BALL or visiting us at the Weidenhammer ticket office at FirstEnergy Stadium.
ROG Orthodontics is the proud official partner of the ROG Orthodontics Fightin' Phils Kids Club. Join today at Fightins.com to get your free ROG Orthodontics Kids Club t-shirt and visit FantasticSmiles.com for more information on why ROG Orthodontics is voted #1 in Berks and Monco. ROG Orthodontics and the Fightin' Phils, 2 great hometown partners.
Savage Auto Group is a proud sponsor of Fiesta Fridays. Enjoy an our Phils game, great food, music, and entertainment. The team will play in their Los Luchadores de Reading Latino tribute uniforms. Visit Timmy Profit and Savage Auto Group, Pennsylvania's most awarded dealership for all your automotive needs.
He gave it his best shot, Corey, but you're the winner, buddy. You're taking home some more Phils.
Into the top of the first, scoreless we go. Mick Abel, 47 pitches. Jimmy Robbins, 39, and they both had really good back-to-back frames after some runners on in the first. Addison Barger, Elvis Martinez, and Sebastian Espino are due up, and Kevin and I are having a conversation about the new rules being implemented in Major League Baseball next summer, including the shift. As I understand, Kevin is not pro banning the shift. He likes the shift.
I like the shift. I feel like it's the player's responsibility to learn how to beat the shift, and organizations too.
1-0 outside, big chase by Barger. 1-1. He was picked off at first after singling to reach in the first half. He was very frustrated. We've seen a lot of emotion out of him this week as he takes a called strike with the curveball outside. 1-2. Snapped his bat over his knees. Has that carried into the clubhouse, or does he kind of leave that on the field?
No, he does a good job of separating the two. A lot of our guys are frustrated. We haven't had the last couple of weeks we've wanted. But they do a good job of, once the game's over, to kind of leaving that off the field.
1-2, Abel. Contact out to deep center. Rojas finding it in the sky. He's there to make the catch, and 1 away. As Barger heads back to the dugout, here's Elvis Martinez. No shift here in Baseball Town. You have to have 2 infielders on either side of the bag at second, and you can't be stepping on that grass edge. You have to be on the dirt. Now, they keep it close. Those guys will stand. Like, if you look right now, if you're watching on MILB, Jonathan Guzman, his heels are probably towing that grass line, but nobody steps back on it as Martinez swings through an offering 0-1. But at times this summer, although you can't shift here, you can manipulate your infield and outfield. A called strike coming into Martinez outside 0-2. And
have you seen any crazy things?
So it was in Erie, full windup from Abel, the 0-2 down in the dirt. We had an Erie where we did, manager Sean Williams had 5 infielders come in. So we had 5 infielders, 3 on the left, 2 on the right, and then 2 outfielders in the gaps. And that was interesting. So you can still kind of manipulate that way. You can also have the infield 1-2 just at the knees, but it's not enough. Infielders stand completely in, so sometimes they'll play in on that grass edge when there's runners in scoring position. Sometimes they'll come in for the bunt. Outfielders can basically stand wherever they want out there. Here's the 2-2, up and away. There's a fastball. He's getting away from the fastball a little bit second time through the order.
So there's no issue with having 5 infielders?
So that's as far as I understand.
Okay.
With the shift, ball 4 coming inside. Abel got ahead in the count, but Martinez will take a free pass down first. We did it if there's an issue. I don't know. We did it at one time.
Exactly.
So I guess I don't know about the semantics in the majors, if that would be. So obviously that doesn't happen that often, but the idea of banning the shift is to create more hits, so more batters would be able to, place the ball in the gaps, through the holes, and scouting reports show where they typically hit, and that's where the fielders typically stand. So, I think that's what Major League Baseball is trying to do. But like you said, as this is sent back foul, part of the game is being able to overcome and adapt to, the situations and
make adjustments.
Make adjustments, yeah. But even, I would say somebody like Aldrim Corridor, 0-1, taken up the middle, Rojas ranging over. He's there to make the catch, and running back quickly is Orelvis Martinez. 2 away, no score, top 4. Somebody like Aldrim Corridor, and you guys aren't as aggressive with it, but people will shift on him just because he's a lefty batter, and most of his hits come the opposite way. Like, he often goes right down the third base line. And so that's, an instance of a guy beating the shift when they're using the shift to beat him.
Right.
So I always think that's a lot of fun. It's like, joke's on you.
I agree. I love that. I love it when somebody goes the other way with the baseball.
First pitch inside to Robertson. There's a called strike. The other thing, and I don't know if they're doing this in the majors at all, right at the half they moved in second base about 13.5 inches closer to make the corner of all of the bags line up 90 degrees and 90 feet, exactly 90 feet apart, because before it was the middle of the bag. This is a ground ball right to Aldrim Corridor. He's going to step on the bag, and that will do it. So Mick Abel walks a batter, but he gets out of the inning pretty quickly. Puts up a 0 in the top of the 4th, onto the bottom half, scoreless in Baseball Town.
Gear up for Fightin' Phil's season. Visit the Brentwood Industries Fightin' Phil's team store at FirstEnergy Stadium, or check out our online store 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at rphils.com/shop. We have a wide variety of Fightin' Phil's hats, t-shirts, kids apparel, and more. Looking for something new? Check out our latest selections of Los Luchadores de Reading and Reading Hot Dogs gear, plus throwback, black, R-Train, R-Phil's attire. Root for your Fightins in style. Stop by the Brentwood Industries Fightins team store or rphils.com/shop.
The sound of an ice-cold Corona is music to my ears. Oh, run that back. Dope. Now drop that beat. And hit me with the hook, player. Hey, whatever you do with your fine life, just do you, player. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The Fightin' Phils know who to call for trash and recycling services. A proven winner, J.P. Mascaro & Sons. The industry leader for over 50 years. Trust the familiar Mascaro Blue Elephant to provide dependable, quality service.
Final countdown playing on the loudspeakers here at America's Classic Ballpark as we wrap up the final game of our final homestand here in Reading, Pennsylvania. A long season has finally come to the end. I can't believe it. Just 6 more games to go after this for both of our teams. But still, quite a bit of baseball left here today. Bottom of the 4th, scoreless in Baseball Town as Carlos De La Cruz will lead things off for the Fightin' Phils. Wendell Rijo and Jalen Ortiz also do have the heart of the order for the Fightin' Phils. But Jimmy Robbins has kept the Fightins quiet since the first inning. They have not got a hit yet. And somebody's looking to break that. Down at the knees, a called strike to Carlos De La Cruz. So we're talking about if you're superstitious or not off the air, and Kevin says a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
What is a little bit? 0-1, checks a swing inside.
What is a little bit superstitious?
I
guess I'm superstitious. Yeah, okay, yeah,
no,
superstitious.
You are.
I
He's
suppose.
admitting to it.
I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, that little slip, the Jimmy Rollins, that's a big.
I know.
It's a big Philadelphia name.
Yeah. Shortstop, pitcher, not quite the same, but a fan favorite for the Phillies. There's a called strike inside, 1-2. So like superstitious to the point where like it would make you uncomfortable if I said the Fightins are trying to break this no-hitter.
I wouldn't say it.
Poke down the right field line, foul. Keep his count at 1-2.
It's more the tradition of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. You're not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Because I have so much control over it up here in the broadcast booth. 1-2. Sent down the right field line foul. He's moving it over a little bit. Just got a little bit more to go to put it in fair territory. If I had control over the season, it would have gone a little bit different.
Yeah.
It would have gone a little bit different.
Me too.
But I would say for me, I would probably agree with you. Like if we were in the reverse right now, I would probably keep quiet. Upstairs, a big swinging strike, and De La Cruz heads back to the dugout without number 1 in the 4th. Strikeout number 6 from Robbins. And here is Wendell Rijo looking to get on the base pass. I would say for me, I'm more on the if it's working, don't change it.
Right.
Like if a walk-up song is working, don't change it. If like a routine has worked, like if we did something and we won really well, do the same thing, type of thing. I would say that's pretty consistent in baseball, though.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think that superstition is more why change things that are working.
Right.
Yeah.
Ball below the knees, 1-0. Especially because a lot of that thoughts about baseball has to do with appeasing the baseball gods. So 1-0, I feel like I'm getting out there, but like if you work in the industry like that, I don't know if it comes up on your end, but it's like you don't step on the chalk line because that would like anger the baseball gods. Called strike outside, 1-1.
That is very common.
Inside. I'm trying to think of some other ones that are like unspoken rules.
I'll have a couple too. Let me think.
Yeah, go for it. Robbins glove down at the waist. Big kick and fire away outside. Ellison snags it. And the count moves 3-1. The Fightin' Phils have had a base runner. Rojas was hit by a pitch to start off this ball game. He stole second, but no hits for Reading. That's the only time somebody's been aboard. Rijo threatening with a 3-1 count. No score, bottom 4 in Reading. Chases inside. Tied up on the slider, full count.
I've got a couple.
Okay, go off.
Bunting to break up a game that hasn't had any hits.
Okay. Are you okay with that, or what do you feel
Where
about
do I
that?
stand on that?
Rijo loops this right in front of the second baseman, Del Rosario. He beats it out. A bloop single breaks up the no-hitter.
That's a tough way to have the no-hitter.
I mean, it's only the 4th, so it's not like that was a bloop single in the 9th.
No, but that's a routine play.
And Rijo ran it out. There's no one covering the base path. That's the problem. And you've had a couple times where there's nobody been covering first.
Right.
Kind of have to have somebody on the base to get it out. But and you got to give credit to Rijo because he really hustled out of the box. Like he wasn't lazy. Like, oh, this is going to drop for a second. He'll make the play to first.
Yeah, I'll give credit to Rijo, but I'll also state that the ball was hit directly at the second baseman, and the first baseman
He
decided
came in
to
for
go
it. The
for
first baseman should have stayed on first.
Yes.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
So, Fightin' Phils get a hit, I think. They put it on the scoreboard. There we go. This is fouled down the first base side by Jalen Ortiz and into the stands. And so, one hit on either side, but no runs, bottom 4.
Yeah, bunting.
Bunting to break. So, are you pro that, or you find that obnoxious? Like, if it's the 9th inning and the team hasn't got a hit and they bunt to try to single.
If it's a close game, I have no issue with it.
Okay. What if it's 0-1?
Say that again.
1-0.
Yeah, bunt.
Okay, that's
yeah,
okay.
you're trying to win the game.
Yeah.
If it's 5-0 and you're bunting, that doesn't sit well. What do you
so
think?
You have that one. Do you have other ones?
Yeah.
Rijo shuffles off the bag at first. Robbins is really looking over. Now he comes home inside. Second on the team in stolen bases is Wendell Rijo with 21. Actually recorded a career 100th in Hartford, which was really exciting.
That's cool. Yeah. The other one, I was thinking about what happened last year in the majors, but swinging up 3-0.
Okay, so
up 10
I was
runs.
going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I am personally under the assessment inside to Ortiz that no lead is ever big enough, because I have seen quite a number of leads blown this summer. And so I don't believe that there's ever a lead. 7-0 in the ninth, I don't think that's a big enough lead. Like, we've scored 9 runs in the ninth inning. We've scored 9 runs in an inning. Do you know how many was the most runs in an inning your team has scored this summer?
I think it was 8. Yeah.
So, to me, I think swing away. Like, if, I don't know, do you disagree?
No.
Or you agree?
I agree. I mean, when you're in the box, it's hard to hit. It's really hard to hit a baseball.
Why would you ruin your own average?
Yeah. If the pitch is really good.
It's his fault if he lays one over the plate, I think.
Yeah, he threw 3 balls before that pitch.
Yeah.
I think it's.
How about, this is a big one.
Yeah.
I think this one's controversial. Stealing went up after the 7th inning.
Yeah, that one.
Went up significantly.
Yeah, that
Not
one's
close.
iffy.
Runner on first. 3-1. Ortiz sends this deep down the right field line, a ropes foul. I would say that one might be situational depending on the score.
Yeah.
Like, in some games, it really is like 15-0. We've seen some Major League games this summer that are like that aggressive. Like, if it's the 9th inning and you're up 15-0, like, what do you think there?
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. I feel like that's just stat padding and taking advantage
No,
of
it
a poor
definitely is.
situation.
Yeah. But if you can, then should you? Payoff pitch, outside, ball 4. And a walk and a hit for Jimmy Robbins puts 2 on the base pass as Rijo moves into scoring position. Here's the lefty, Ethan Wilson, and the Fightin's threatening here in a scoreless bottom of the 4th. You know, what if, Mike Trout and Aaron Judge are in? Like, what if there's like a big push for like
stolen bases?
Stolen bases. Those are bad options for stolen bases in the majors. But
Mike Trout can steal bases.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what if there's a big, back and forth between 2 guys, or you're going for like a career number?
Yeah, I don't like it in the 15-0
You're
game.
out for it. Okay.
Yeah, if it's for me, if it's
what's the deficit?
For me, it's like 7 runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both runners shuffling off the base pass here. Robbins looks back at second. 0-1 to Wilson. Now he's down 0-2. 6 strikeouts for Robbins. He's having a career game so far.
Yeah, I think there's so many options for that question too. Are they leaving the bases open like right now? There's nobody holding anybody on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think Martinez is trying to hold on. Rijo's going. The throw down to third, not in time. And Ortiz stays put at first, so they get a runner 90 feet from home plate as he steals third, his 22nd here in Double-A, 24th on the season, 101 in his career. I would say it looked like Martinez was trying. Nobody was anywhere near first. I think, is that because they have a lefty up?
Great question. I assume.
Wilson down on strike, so he goes back to the dugout without number 2. And here is Aldrim Corridor, the RBI leader, looking to drive in at least 1 run and get the Fightin' Phils on the board. Chases a pitch outside, goes around. So you were not happy with the defensive alignment there?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You would say that, okay.
Yeah.
So the first baseman is holding the runner on now. Wendell Rijo is a very aggressive lead at third. Aldrim takes one right at the knees. Big called strike fastball by Robbins. Hits 0-2. 2 outs here for the Fightin' Phils. Scoreless in the bottom of the first. They're threatening with Rijo on third and Ortiz on first. Trying to at least make some magic happen with runners on. Maybe dig into Robbins' pitch count a little bit, up to 63 offerings here. 2 on, 2 out. Lefty-lefty matchup. Corridor takes outside. He's only allowed 1 hit and 2 free passes. Struck out 7, and Abel's been pretty solid on the other side. Just 1 hit and 2 free passes. So
yeah,
pretty even matched
similar
here.
lines.
Ortiz going to second, corridor, a late swing, deep to left field, back at the wall, and there is Robertus. Talk about going the opposite way. He's had back-to-back nights where he's probably been like 5 feet from that fence and left, because the other night he had that one that ended up a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, he loves going to that side.
I know,
Love
and it works for him.
Yeah,
It works
yeah.
really well. Well, Fightin strand a couple runners on the base pass. We end up scoreless into the 5th, and thanks to Kevin for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Emily.
McAble back out, looking to keep it scoreless in Baseball Town. Top of the 5th. He's allowed just 1 hit and 2 walks, 4 strikeouts for the righty as Carl Ellison takes a strike inside and then a fastball up and away. Fightin's threatened in the bottom of the 4th. Aldrum Corridor smacked a ball to deep left, but it was just shy of the fence for out number 3. But they've eaten into the starter a little bit. Actually, they're both sitting pretty even here. 62 pitches for Abel, 64 for Robbins coming into this 5th. Ellison takes this out to left center field. Racing over Rojas, back at the wall. He is there. And that's where I think his speed should be noticed. We talk about it on the base pass. You've got to think about it in the field like that. That could drop in for anybody else. That drops in, you don't think of it. He gets to it, it's an out. Deep to left center. I mean, that's the corner of left center. 400 feet back there, and he got in time. So he puts out number 1 on the boards here. Ground ball deep at third. It is foul. Good effort there by McCarthy Tatum to get over. It's gotten chilly here. The wind is non-existent, but it's still overcast skies. It's getting dark fast. And the rain really cooled things off. Time is called. Abel wants another baseball. The grounds are wet out there. The grounds crew did a really nice job of getting this field ready and perfectly playable for today, but the grass is still wet, and so struggling to find your grip if it touches there. So Abel requesting a new ball as he gets a called strike outside to Cardona. Just his 2nd time through the order here in the top of the 5th. Cardona struck out looking as he takes a ball inside 1-2. Somebody up and jumping around for the Fightin Phils. They only gave Andrew Painter 5 innings of work, so we have to see how long they give Mick. This is roped foul down the third base side, 1-2. And it is misting out there apparently too, which is kind of uncomfortable. 1-2. Looks for the corner. Good frame by Iser. They do not get the call in the crowd. Getting a little chippy with Ray Valero. It's nice when they get into it. Time is called. Granted to Cardona. Adjusting his batting gloves. Again, a little bit down and away. Full count. Righty kicks and fires, payoff. Pitch slow roller back to the rubber. It gets under his glove. Wendell Rijo fires to first. What a play by the second baseman as he hauls in and makes that play on the grass. Man got on his horse quickly. Abel just couldn't lay his glove down on the ground in time. But right there was Wendell Rijo, barehands it and sends it to first. And there is out number 2 here for Robert Robertus. Abel over 73 pitches. Here's a fly ball deep to right field. Going back, De La Cruz at the wall. It bounces off the fence. Hustling for 2 is Robertus. He is going to stay put there, and they're calling that a home run. His first double-A hit, a home run, and I have never seen anybody so excited as he's electric, rounding the bases, getting mobbed by his teammates. Pretty impressive. 19-year-old hits a double-A home run in his first hit. They got a chain down there for him, and that'll put the Fisher Cats on the board 1-0. You didn't think he would be the guy to do it. It was deep to right, and I guess just bounced over that line by the pool. Wow. Here's Angel Del Rosario, just the second hit of the game, led up by Abel. He's cruising here. You just miss on one pitch. Sometimes that happens, but it's only 1-0. Del Rosario takes the ball outside. Big swing down to his knees as Abel goes off speed. 1-1. He's ready to go. He's waiting for Del Rosario to get in. There he hits at the corner. 1-2 working very quickly. I think a little bit of frustration here. Now he takes a little pause. 1-2. Chop back. Bumps off the glove of Abel to no man's land, and safe at first is Del Rosario on a base hit. He tried to make a play. There was just nothing he could do. It was just a little bit far out of reach. And a base hit will continue the inning as we go to the top of the order with Cam Eden. There is somebody up and throwing in the bullpen, I think. Not in terms of his performance, but just, limiting pitch counts and innings here late in the season for a young guy that's really in his first full season. Obviously pitched last year, but was on the injured list with some shoulder fatigue late in the summer. So really a full complete season for Abel this year. Runner on first, 2 away. He'll see Cam Eden. There he's going. This is skied out to center field. Runners continue to go around the base pass as Rojas trots in. He's there to make the catch, and that will end the frame. But a solo shot by Robert Robertus. In his first double-A hit, a home run, and he puts the Fisher Cats on top. 1-0. A home run from the most unlikeliest of places for the Fisher Cats as Robert Robertus smokes a ball deep to right field and gives the Fisher Cats a 1-run lead as we enter the bottom of the 5th. Reading due up, McCarthy Tatum fouls back the first offering he sees. Jimmy Robbins still out, 64 pitches under his belt. Gave up his first hit back in the 4th. The Fightins threatened, but they couldn't drive in a run, so we'll see if they can do so here and try to get themselves on the board. Everybody that comes up represents the tying run. Midway point in this contest. It's a real pitcher's duel. 0-2 to Tatum. Chases a curveball. He'll go around the horn with it. 1 away. Here's Herbert Iser from the left side. Popped up in foul territory his last time up. Takes the first pitch strike. Poked off the bat. No man's land in shallow left center. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Right in that Bermuda triangle between the left fielder, the center fielder, and the shortstop. Everybody came in for it. They just couldn't get there in time. And Herbert Iser has a base hit. The Fightin' Phils the tying run aboard here for Jonathan Guzman. Sent back foul. Off the netting behind home plate. Jonathan flew out to right field, his first time up. Runner on first is Herbert Iser, shuffling off the base paths with 1 out here. Lefty has a good vantage point, looks over there, he comes home. Guzman tied up on the inside, down 0-2, and there is somebody up in the bullpen for the Fisher Cats as well, as he reaches over 70 offerings. Guzman open stance in the righty batter's box. Sends it back foul into the net behind home plate. We will go again. Iser really just taking about a 2-step lead off of first, being held on by Espino. Everybody else is back deep. Taking his time. Robbins. Guzman stays alive. Another foul ball back. Top of the order in the on-deck circle with Johan Rojas. This is sent shallow right. Robertson coming in, going back. Del Rosario, the second baseman, is the one to put a glove on it. And there is out number 2.
Center fielder number 15, Johan Rojas.
Here's Johan Rojas. 2 outs. He's been on base with a hit by pitch back in the first. Stole a bag. Glad to see him still in the contest. Runner on first, look to keep the line moving. Big swinging strike out of Rojas. Raises just below the knees. 1-1. So the Iron Pigs got rained out tonight in their final game against Worcester. That game will not be made up because they don't play Worcester anymore, which is unfortunate because they're looking for a spot in the International League playoffs. 1-1 off the end of the bat. Foul, 1-2. Trying to check his swing, but he does go around. The Blue Claws played a day game wrapping up their season. 11-3, a big win for Jersey Shore out at home at Shoretown Ballpark. They are done, low A and high A, finishing a week before us here in double A. And the Phillies finally resuming action, tied 4-4, bottom 5 against the Nationals. Rhys Hoskins, his 28th home run, scoring 3 runs for the Big Phils here. That's an exciting contest out at Citizens Bank Park. I wonder if anybody's there. They had a very long rain delay. That game started at 1:30. Now it is 6:30, and they're in the bottom of the 5th. I know they had the Eagles game on in the meantime, which that should have helped keep people in the stands. And the Eagles took a big win today. Runner on first, 2-2 with 2 outs. Rojas goes right up the middle, and it's over the head of Del Rosario into the outfield. Eyes are going for 3. Runners on the corners with a big hit by Johan Rojas up the middle. And the Fightin's threatening here again in the 5th inning, and we're going to see how long they keep this starter in just on the outside corner. Shoved it right back where it came from. And here is the heavy hitter for the Fightins with Carlos De La Cruz. Meeting on the mound here, wondering if it's just that, and it is, as Carl Elson turns and comes back to the plate. They look like they're going to let the lefty Robbins face Carlos De La Cruz with 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th, having a career game with 7 strikeouts. He's only allowed 3 hits and 2 free passes, shutting out the Fightin' Phils, looking to keep a 1-run lead. De La Cruz took advantage of the Fisher Cats in yesterday's contest. Extra inning triple that scored 2 runs, and winning run on a wild pitch. Looking to be that hero again at the midway point. Pickoff attempt. Rojas back easily. There's a chance he tries to take second just because with a runner on third, you don't often see a throw. I feel like it's 50-50 whether the catcher chooses to throw down or not, because you risk guys are trying to come home. You risk throwing the ball away. Rojas can score from first either way. De La Cruz sends this foul down the third base side. Runners on the corners here. Reading down by 1, bottom 5th. Chases an off-speed pitch upstairs. 1-2. I don't know if Del Rosario thought that was the final strike. He was racing in. Now he's got to go back to his position. Bummer of a gross day to end the season. I think it's starting to rain a little bit out there too. A bunch of umbrellas going up. People still sitting in it, so not unbearable as De La Cruz sends this foul into the stands. But certainly not the most pleasant way to wrap up the season considering all the good weather we've had this summer. It's been so nice. And now this. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Rojas going, but De La Cruz swings through an off-speed pitch and strikes out. And although the Fightin' Phils get some more runners on the base pass, they leave them there, and they take their 1-run deficit into the top of the 6th at America's Classic Ballpark. Albertus Barber enters the game out of the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen here for Mick Abel as he exits after 5 innings of work with 80 pitches thrown today. He's given up just 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And now he'll hand it off to Barber here for the top of the 6th, trying to keep this just a 1-run game as the Fisher Cats up 1-0. Addison Barger, Elvis Martinez, and Sebastian Espino leading things off. Fightins have had a couple of opportunities to score, but they just can't drive it a run. Close pitchers duel contest here. As Barber misses outside to Barger. It's a little complicated. One letter difference between these two guys. Righty on lefty matchup 1-0. Inside for a strike. We saw Barger make his Double-A debut earlier this week. An inning of work, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. So did end up striking out for the 3 outs. It's getting very moist here. I feel like we're in a low-bearing cloud. A lot of mist can make it tough to grip the baseball. And this is below the knees, 3-0. Gonna have to be very careful. And that'll affect both sides. That's the thing of it. Coming set, glove at the waist for Barber. 3-0. That's a strike. No. It's inside. Ball 4. Iser likes the pitch, though. He pointed back to Barber. A leadoff walk will put a runner on here for Elvis Martinez with nobody out. There's a called strike. Gets the first one now. 81 miles an hour off speed. A lot of people coming back under cover now. You can tell it's getting really wet out there. Not that maybe it's very misting, moist, sitting in, like in the cloud. It feels like it's very hazy up above the field. It's kind of cool to look at. Runner on first, 1-0, sent back foul. Up in the count now is Albertus Barber. Very excited to play here in Reading. He said, you know, this is when he got signed by the Phillies. This was the place he was most looking forward to getting to. And, you know, it's been living up to his expectations, the crowds, the energy, the fun of it all. Comes down and away, 2-2. It's always nice to hear. Try our best to put on a good show. Ground ball left side. Tatum to Rijo. On to first. Picking the dirt by Corridor. A double play. That'll work. Fightins get 2 outs on 1 pitch. Barber clears the base pass. 5-4-3 double play. And here is Sebastian Espino with nobody on and 2 away. Really tight there at first, and Johnson took a bit to make the call, but they got the play. Espino swings through an off-speed pitch. 0-1. Barber trying to settle in here. He's got the baseball in his right arm dangling. Now he comes set. Glove at the waist. His right knee is bent, and he kicks with his left. Gets this to foul back behind home plate. 0-2. Both teams just 3 hits to 1 run coming off the bat of Robert Robertus. A solo shot to right field. Here's the 0-2 inside. We'll go again. Popped up right side. corridor, backing up in foul territory. There he is to make the catch, and after a leadoff walk, Albertus Barber faces the minimum, getting a big double play ball, and we get out of the inning clean. So here we go, off to the bottom of the sixth, down by 1. The Fightin' Phils looking for some offense. Inside, first pitch to Wendell Rijo. Fightin' Phil's down 1-0 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Brady Lale checks in as the starter Jimmy Robbins exits with an impressive outing. Perhaps enough to qualify him for pitcher of the week. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts on 84 offerings. And we'll see what Lale has to give to the Fightin' Phils because they tore him up last time he was out. This has popped up deep to right field. Robertson struggling to find it in the sky, and at the final second, there he is to make the catch for out number 1. We'll see if the Fightin' Phils can tag into the reliever a little bit. Lale, a former major leaguer, and did pitch in the Phillies prior, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs in his 2 innings pitched back on Wednesday, so he's had a lot of time to breathe. And at the right side, Jalen Ortiz 0 for 2 today. Most of the Fightins are. They just have recorded 3 hits. Barger, 3 hits for the Fightins would be Rijo, Iser, and Johan Rojas. Ortiz takes one outside, 2-1. Big birthday shout out to Disco Briscoe down in front of me doing the cheers to make the crowd and his dance. They're getting energetic down in front. Commitment in this section 4 to the Disco Briscoe, the Briscoe Disco. Briscoe's Disco. It's his birthday. He got to throw out the first pitch today. That was pretty good. 2-2. Called strike 3, caught looking at the knees, 92 out of Lale. And there is out number 2 for Ethan Wilson. Reading just looking for a base runner here in a tight ball game. It's a pitcher's duel. Really just a 1-0 lead by the Fisher Cats. Here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to the lefty outside. Big swinging strike. 1-1. Fightin' Phils have struck out 10 times so far through 6 2/3 innings of work. Righty on lefty matchup. Lale coming outside to the designated hitter, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs today. Popped up back on the roof. Staying alive is Ethan Wilson. Both teams just 3 hits. It's been quiet offense, especially interesting for the Fightin' Phils. They've popped off this series. I mean, they had a big 11-0 shutout, but they also shut out 4-0. They scored 11 runs to the Fisher Cats 10 in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, walking it off. So it's been very eventful. Two outs here, bottom 6. The Fightin' Phils just looking for a base runner. 2-2 to Wilson. And he strikes out for the 3rd time today. As the Fightin' Phils fall in order here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Fisher Cats. To the 7th we go at America's Classic Ballpark. Top 7 here in baseball town as Fisher Cats lead the Fightins 1-0. Will Robertson takes a called strike to start this off. Albertus Barber gets another inning of work, putting up a 0 in the 6th, walking 1 batter, but ended up facing the minimum with a big double play ball. Now he comes down in the dirt. The count evens at 1. Another special shout out on hand as the best friend of Screwball celebrating a birthday today. One of our mascots, one of our most prominent mascots, and got to give all of our mascots a shout out for all of their hard work this summer, making all of our fans happy, always roaming the ballpark, signing autographs, tossing baseballs, dancing, maybe even singing if you're the crazy hot dog vendor. 1-2. Ground ball down to first. Aldrum Corridor backhands it. He'll make the play unassisted. And there's out number 1 in the 7th. Here's Carl Ellison. Former teammates going head-to-head. It's been a fun summer. I see Blooper out there in the right field grandstand taking some photos with some fans. The crazy hot dog vendor was here earlier. Tossed me a hot dog up in the press box. That was fun. We've seen the Tooth Fairy out all summer. Lots of went on here at FirstEnergy Stadium. We've had great pregame and postgame concerts and happy hours. We've got the best fireworks in the league. I know because I've seen all the shows, and they're the best in the league. Those guys out in International Fireworks of Douglasville setting up down in left field for our postgame show here today as Barber gets a first pitch called strike to Carl Ellison. Ready comes home. This is shot down the third base line. Gets past a diving McCarthy Tatum. Fair. Ellison hustling for 2. And a stand-up double for the catcher. Puts a runner on here with 1 away for Hugo Cardona. And we thank all of our fans for their support this summer, too. I mean, we have great attendance at these ball games, considering that the market that we're in, we're so close to Lehigh Valley, we're so close to Philadelphia. And that can be kind of tough to draw because we're competing with not only other professional sports teams, but our own professional sports teams that we want to support, too. And so we love the community of Reading, the Berks County community, for always coming out and supporting us here in Baseball Town. We always do well in attendance in the Eastern League, and I know the players really appreciate it too, because there's nothing kind of depressing like playing in front of an empty stadium, especially when you get to this level. Called strike right at the knees, and the count evens 1-1. Hugo Cardona up in the righty batter's box. Ellison out on second, and 1 away here in the 7th. Sends an off-speed pitch back foul. Barber really focusing on the batter here. Ellison not too much of a threat to try to run. This is down in the dirt. Iser keeps it in front of him. Slow moving, Barber. Fly ball out to right. De La Cruz able to get there. And there will be out number 2 with Ellison still on second. Here is Robert Robertus, who is responsible for the only run so far today. A solo shot down into the pool area. His first double-A hit, a home run in the 5th inning. I think even he was surprised it went out, and very, very excited. They've got a little bit of a shift on him now. He takes the ball down in the dirt. Fly ball out to left this time. Jalen Ortiz can't find it in the light. It drops behind him. And a run will score for the Fisher Cats. Another RBI for the youngster Robertus. Twilight ball. Got Jalen there. That's the 2nd time this week.
Second baseman number 17, Angel Del Rosario.
Here's Angel Del Rosario with a runner on second and 2 away. Jalen did not touch that, so it goes in as a double. Drops behind him. Ellison scoring easily, running on contact. This is shot off the bat out to left. Jalen going back at the wall, and it's gone. a 2-run home run, and it's the rookies, the 19-year-olds, getting the job done today. A 2-run shot from Angel Del Rosario puts the Fisher Cats up 4-0. That's impressive. And all with 2 outs here. Bottom of the order for the Fisher Cats, putting in the work today. Lots of long balls, extra base hits. As we go to the top of the order, here is Cam Eden. First pitch strike to Cam Eden. He's 0 for 2 today. He did walk back in the first and stole a bag. 0-1. Inside 1-1. Looking to just wrap up this inning so the Fightin' Phils can get back up to bat. 4-0 lead, certainly not out of control, but you don't want to let it get there, as the Fisher Cats have been doing all this with 2 outs. 2-1 here to Cam Eden. Dribbler off the bat, back foul behind home plate, and it evens 2 apiece. This one's fouled down the third base side, right into the Fisher Cats dugout. Whoever's on the top step there doesn't even have to move. Drop, third strike. Iser tosses it to first, and that will do it. But the Fisher Cats end up plating 4 runs on 3 hits, including a home run and 2 doubles, and they take a 4-0 lead. Stretch time here at America's Classic Ballpark. Bottom 7, here we come, down by 4. Fightin' Phils now down by 4 as we enter the bottom of the 7th here at America's Classic Ballpark. They need some run support, and they need it bad, as the Fisher Cats put up 3 in the top of the 7th off of 3 extra base hits, including a home run. The 2 19-year-olds in the lineups, Robertus and Del Rosario, really getting the job done today, as Aldrin Corridor chases an off-speed pitch downstairs. Brady Lale in his second inning of work. Got the Fightin' Phils down in order in the 6th. Reading looking for some base runners here. Corridor stays alive with the ball outside. The Fightin' Phils just 3 hits today. Rojas, Rijo, and Herbert Iser. One-two, sent off the end of the bat, back foul. Starting to get dark here in Reading, still overcast in the sky. I think we're good on precipitation. Maybe a little bit mist still happening down there that's kind of annoying, but nothing that the fans aren't sitting through. And baseball under the lights here, one of the few games left going. Most people don't have night games on Sunday, and the ones that are going are West Coast games that are afternoon games, not night games like the Reading Fightin' Phils play. We are one of just 5 AA games going on. Corridor sends this back foul, staying alive, 1-2. And he chases an off-speed pitch down and away, strikes out swinging. Here is McCarthy Tatum looking to get on the board. The Fightin' Phils have struck out 12 times today. That does not help. Still 6 more games in the season, although we wrap it up at home today. I'll be hitting the road with the Fightin' Phils as we go to Altoona next week, Tuesday through Sunday. I think it's 6 o'clock games and then a 1 o'clock game on Sunday to wrap up the season. And it's not too far of a drive, just over probably about 4 hours on a bus, 3 hours if you drove yourself from Reading. Chases a pitch downstairs, 0-2. And the curve, the Pirates affiliate. Down and away. Tatum stays alive. One-two. Chipped back foul. He'll stay alive. Fastball by Lale sitting low 90s. 91 there as he comes inside. Crowd looking for something, but Tatum chases down to his knee. And there is out number 2. Strikeout number 4 consecutive for Brady Lale. Tracking back to the 6th inning. Here's Herbert Iser, who has one of the Fightin' Phils' 3 hits today. He's looking to keep us alive. In on the left side against Lale, he takes the ball in. Iser just gets a piece of this, evening the count at 1. Chase is a breaking ball, 1-2. Phillies still in action out at Citizens Bank Park. The Nationals have taken a 5-4 lead in the bottom of the 6th as Iser holds off on a fastball outside 2-2. 3 hour and 30-minute rain delay. Luckily, they had the Eagles game going on, so they were able to play that on the field. Herbert gets a piece of this to stay alive. Reading the Philadelphia threatening in the bottom of the 6th. They've got runners on the corners and nobody out. Kyle Schwarber up, so a chance for them to at least tie it up at Citizens Bank Park, trying to go for a series sweep over the Nationals. And Iser strikes out swinging. Second time today that the Fightin' Phils have gone down 1-2-3 on strikeouts as Lale picks up 5 to get out of the 7th. 4-0. Fisher Cats. On to the 8th we go in Baseball Town.
Where are you? Hey, James, we're right in front of you. Can't believe you didn't see me. We're here in box 4. That's right. It's time for the
White Star Tours and Travel Centers offers the R-Phils fan road trip again this season. It's your chance to hit the road with other R-Phils fans, see an R-Phils road game, meet with an R-Phils player, and see 2 Philadelphia Phillies road games. The White Star R-Phils fan road trip visits Erie and Pittsburgh, Thursday, July 28th through Sunday, July 31st. You see the R-Phils at Erie, meet with an R-Phils player or coach, then head to Pittsburgh for a tour of the city, including the Incline, and a ride on the Yankee Clipper riverboat. You will attend 2 Phillies games versus the Pirates on Friday and Saturday, before traveling home Sunday with a stop at the Flight 93 National Memorial. Visit the customer service booth for more info on the White Star R-Phils fan road trip to Erie and Pittsburgh. Space is very limited. Sign up today.
Nursing home neglect is a serious problem. If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores obtained in a nursing home or a fall down in a nursing home resulting in a fracture, our friends at Swartz Culleton can help. Call the attorneys at Swartz Culleton for a free consultation. Their phone number is 1-800-JUSTICE. That's 1-800-587-8423. Once again, call 1-800-JUSTICE today. Swartz Culleton is a proud sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils.
Fisher Cats up 4-0 as we head into the 8th inning. The Fightin' Phils struggling to get the offense going today. So Adam Leverett will look to keep them in this game as he enters out of the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen here in relief. Top of the 8th inning, he'll start things off with Addison Barger, or Elvis Martinez, and Cam Eden due up. Alberta's Barber finishes with 2 innings of work, 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout on 34 pitches as Leverett gets a swinging strike, 1-1. Saw Adam earlier this week, 2 innings of work, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Popped up. It's going to come into the stands here. And this is sent back foul into the net behind home plate.
Thank you, safety Ed.
Leverett deals, poked off the end of the bat right to the pitcher, jogs to first, underhand to Aldrum Corridor. An athletic play from Adam Leverett as he puts out number 1 on the board here in the top of the 8th. Elvis Martinez heading up to bat. It's kind of cold here now. No more sun providing us any warmth. It's wet, a little soggy. First pitch outside. 1-0. Big swinging strike. Martinez on a breaking ball. 1-1. Sent down the third base side foul. Manager Cesar Martin fields it, tosses it to a kid in the 67 club. Fisher Cats up 4 runs on 6 hits, a pair of home runs and a pair of doubles, getting them on the board today. Fightin's no runs on 3 hits, as Martinez takes one inside, evening the count at 2. Leverett ties him up on the inside. Martinez chases for strike 3, and there is out number 2.
First baseman number 9, Sebastian Espino.
Here's Sebastian Espino with 2 away. Called strike 92 with the fastball by Lev on the outside corner. Ball and a strike. Universal off day for both of these teams tomorrow. And then the Fisher Cats finishing up at home versus Harrisburg, Reading on the road versus Altoona. And then the offseason. Can't believe it's come so fast. There's a lot of stuff we can still keep up with it. Be providing you information all season long about how it's going in the winter leagues, the fall leagues. Espino chases some high heat, 93, and the count evens 2-2. And all of our players developing in the offseason. Of course, we'll have the Baseball Town Charities Winter Tour. And lots of fun stuff. The promotional schedule will be coming out. The regular schedule already out. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Lev hits 94 back-to-back Ks. He sets down the Fisher Cats in order, trying to give the Fightin' Phils some momentum here. Bottom of the 8th, down by 4, looking for some offense. Fisher Cats lead 4-0 as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning. Jonathan Guzman will lead it off for the Fightin' Phils in the top of the order, and Johan Rojas and then Carlos De La Cruz. The Fightin' Phils badly need some offense here. They've only had 3 hits so far today, as Yoel Concepcion comes in for Brady Lale, whose day is done after 2 very quick innings. He struck out 5 of the 6 batters that he faced, as Guzman fouls one back for strike 1. The Fightin' Phils have struck out a total of 14 times today. 16 in a game is the most that they've struck out this season. Popped up, playable in the infield. The third baseman coming in, sliding a basket catch. He gets to it. I'm not sure why Ellison backed off there. That's his ball. It was right by the plate. but the third baseman covers a lot of ground, and he gets there in time. And there's out number 1 for Johan Rojas. Top of the order, he has one of the 3 hits for the Fightins today. Was also hit by a pitch and stole a base back in the first inning. Lale, 2 clean innings of work, like I said, struck out 5, and he did it all on just 31 pitches. Looking to just get on the board here. Reading being shut out 4-0. They've shut out the Fisher Cats twice this series. Up above the letters, 2-0. Ball 4. Rojas will take a free pass down to first, and the Fightin' Phils have a base runner. They haven't had one since the 5th inning. And hopefully he can kind of generate some energy here, maybe try to get himself into scoring position for the heart of the R-Phils order coming up, Carlos De La Cruz. Fightin' certainly not out of this game yet, but don't want to throw an opportunity away here as they only have 5 outs. Rocketed down the third base side, foul. Sac fly by Reese Hoskins ties the Phillies up 5-5. So they are tied in the 7th inning. Called strike on the corner. 0-2. De La Cruz has struck out 3 times today. Atypical for him. And there he goes swinging back to the dugout with out number 2. And here is Wendell Rijo. This is a blooper down into right field, foul just out of reach of Sebastian Espino. And Rijo's going to get another go. De La Cruz now striking out for the 4th time. The last person to do that was Sal Gazzo on August 18th versus Portland. Ethan Wilson has also struck out 3 times. He hasn't come up for the 4th time today. And McCarthy Tatum as well with 3 Ks. Runner on first, though, Johan Rojas. Wendell Rijo takes a ball downstairs. Count evens 1-1, 96 out of Concepcion. We've seen him once before in this series. 2 innings of clean work, striking out 3 on 24 pitches. 1-1 upstairs. Pops up Ellison, snags it out of the sky. Just outside. Getting up in the count. Wendell Rijo, 3-1. Runner on first. Johan Rojas after taking a free pass. 2 outs. Rijo pops this up sky high. And Espino and a couple of guys coming over to make the catch. Robertson can't get it in right field as it ends up in the Fightin's bullpen. And for the 2nd time in this AB, Rijo is going to have another opportunity. Can he capitalize on it? Crowd very energetic. The people that are here appreciate their support of our team. Runner on first, 2 away. They're letting Rojas go, and he's going off, and it's inside anyways. So a payoff pitch is ball 4. And that will put 2 on with free passes here for Jalen Ortiz, and one swing of the bat can put the Fightin Phils right back in this ball game. And now we'll see a meeting on the mound and a visit from the pitching coach, Jim Sykowski.
Squeeze down to get a nice firm grip.
First baseman Espino comes in for the mound meeting. Now they go back. It's Jalen Ortiz up with Rojas on second and Rio on first. The Fightin Phils have had a couple of base runners this game, not many. And they need to capitalize here late in this contest. Two on, 2 out. They've only got 4 left. Ortiz holds off on a ball below the knees. He walked back in the 4th inning, 0 for 2 today. Just 3 hits for the Fightin Phils. And only 6 for the Fisher Cats, but they've hit him for extra bases and made it work. A 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. There's a called strike on the corner, 1-1. Runners taking a lead with 2 outs. They're going on contact down in the dirt. 2-1. And the Fisher Cats have somebody up in their bullpen. I think it's drizzling a little bit out there. I can see some precipitation on top of the dugout. Nothing too much. People still sitting out in it. Coming set, glove at the waist. 2-1. Ortiz right back to the pitcher. Putting a glove on it is Concepcion, underhanded to first. And the Fightin Phils will strand another 2 on the base pass. Well, they're down by 4. Top of the 9th we go. The Fisher Cats due up in Baseball Town. Into the top of the 9th we go. Fisher Cats lead the Fightin Phils 4-0. Final inning, perhaps. We've had 3 extra inning contests in this series. As this is sent back foul here to start things off. Adam Leverett has another inning of work. Robertson in on the left side. The 0-1. Outside. Leverett came in the 8th, and he sat down the side in order, trying to keep the Fightin' Phils in this game. Just a 4-run difference. Certainly doable for them in the bottom of the 9th, but it's going to take some real change in the bats. 1-1. A ball and 2 strikes here. Adam comes set, glove at the chest. Righty on lefty matchup just above the letters. Baseball under the lights for one final time at FirstEnergy Stadium this season. Guess when our next opening day is set for 2023, April 11th, a Tuesday at FirstEnergy Stadium, 2-2 downstairs, and can't wait to be back already. Over 368,000 fans at FirstEnergy Stadium this season. We appreciate everybody's support and coming out. One of the best places to go and see a minor league ball game, according to Ben Hill, according to Baseball America, and according to all of our fans here at the ballpark. We're top attendance in minor leagues and the longest affiliated in all of minor league baseball. Payoff pitch, sent back foul into the net again. At least an 8-pitch at bat here against Will Robertson. High heat. Adam goes upstairs, and Robertson goes down swinging. 3rd straight strikeout for Lev. First out here, top of the 9th. Here is Carl Ellison. Checking in on the Phillies, they are still tied at 4. Stretch time at Citizens Bank Park, bottom 7 coming up. Nationals have 11 hits, the Phillies 8, but both teams 5 runs. This is sent back foul onto the roof. And fouled into the plaza. So 2 back-to-back foul balls puts him down 0-2. Outside, a ball and 2 strikes. 93 there. Flirted with 94 a couple times with this fastball. Leverett working solely out of the bullpen now. And it's been a good transition for him. 1-2 down in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Digging himself in, Carl Ellison. Double to reach back in the 7th, really what started off the 3-run inning for the Fisher Cats. They had 2 doubles and a home run. 2-2. Sends it back foul. Lots of fouls off of Adam here. They got to get some more baseballs down on the field. The bat boy running them out. A 8-pitch at bat against Robertson. This one is up to 7 against Carl Ellison. Two. Falls just upstairs and inside. Full count. Tied up inside, gets just a piece of it to stay alive. Offering number 8 impending. And as always, still a group of kids out in the pool. Relishing the end of summer out there. Just, I think, 10 more days left of summer, right? September 21st will officially change the seasons. Payoff pitch, shot out to left. Carl Ellison cranks one into the 4th level of the picnic deck. A solo shot puts the Fisher Cats up 5-0 over his former farm system. And it's all been the long balls today for the Fisher Cats, their 3rd of the game. And here's Hugo Cardona. First pitch ball inside to Cardona. He's 0 for 3 today. Takes one outside, 2-0. Big swing by Cardona, tied up off speed. Going for the fences there. The Fisher Cats did set their home run record this summer, hitting more home runs than ever in their history. With a total of 154, you can add 3, so 157. Their previous record was 144. And you've got to remember who the Fisher Cats have had on their team. I mean, they just had Vladdy Jr. and Bo Bichette as Cardona chases a fastball upstairs. Count is now full. And they did it in 1,000 less at-bats. They've also had the most road home runs in a season with 83. Well, I guess it's 86. Ground ball over to second. Rijo ranging over onto first, out number 2. What's interesting is that they did not have a grand slam through their first 150 homers. Of course, the grand slam happened here. If you remember, Addison Barger earlier in the week did that against the Fightin Phils. They have had 7 home runs in this series. Robert Robertus has had one of them with a home run in his first Double-A at bat. Also doubled, scoring twice, driving in 2 runs. Takes a swinging strike here, 0-1. Just inside. 1-1. Looks like Aiden Anderson warming up in the bullpens for the Fightins. The Fisher Cats have someone up as well. Below the knees, 2-1. This is smoked back foul, bounces off the window of the press box and down in the stands. Kid gets the best souvenir in all of sports. This is sent deep to center field. Rojas back right in front of the warning track, and he's there to make the catch. But a solo shot by Carl Ellison makes it 5-0 Fisher Cats. The Fightin Phils looking to not be shut out. They'll have the bottom of the ninth to try and rally down by 5 in the final game of the homestand and the final game at FirstEnergy Stadium this summer. Fightin' Phils have 3 more outs here to try to come up with at least 5 runs and keep this game alive. As Gabriel Ponce will come out for the Fisher Cats and see Ethan Wilson, Aldrum Corridor, and McCarthy Tatum. Final 3 outs at America's Classic Ballpark this summer, unless the Fightin' Phils can do something to change that. And we are sitting in mist again. It is cold here. As Wilson takes a called strike, the count evens 1-1. Concepcion, 1 inning of work. Did walk 2, but he struck out 1 and he kept it clean. 19 pitches. Ponce hits on the knees. Wilson looks a little frustrated there with that call. Struck out 3 times today. Fightin' Phils only have 3 hits. They're being shut out by the Fisher Cats. Wilson sends it back foul. Stay alive. That's a really sharp foul ball's back. One, 2, and he swings at a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Ethan Wilson today. Second player for that to happen. 2 and
first baseman number 40, Aldrum Corridor.
That ties the most strikeouts in a game that the Fightin' Phils have had this season. 15 against Altoona, or 16, against Altoona earlier in the summer. Here is Aldrum Corridor, 2 more outs left for Reading. Except for all next week. It's weird for me because the front office here is like wrapping up. They're done. They're like, we finished the season. And I'm like, I have 1 more week because we'll go on the road to Altoona. And same for these players. Like the whole crowd is like, congratulations. And they still have like another week where they got to be locked in. Here's a 1-1. Sent back foul into the stands, 1 and 2. You know, so you have to make sure you're still locked in. 6 games is a lot. It could do a lot for your average. It could do a lot against your average, but certainly, you know, your mental stamina, your physical stamina. 1-2, sent up the middle, and Aldrum Corridor will get himself a hit here in the bottom of the 9th, perhaps starting a rally for the Fightin' Phils. Here is McCarthy Tatum, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts today. Corridor hits one at the knees on the inside, right back where it came from. Crowd trying to bring him a little bit of energy here. Tatum swings through an off-speed pitch, 0-1. Down below the knees. Called strike, 0-2. Corridor on first, and Tatum will strike out swinging. 3 players have struck out 4 times today for the Fightin' Phils, 17 strikeouts. And that is a season high for Reading. Here's Herbert Iser looking to keep the game alive. Runner on first and Aldrum Corridor, 2 outs, bottom 9, Reading down by 5. Out in front of an off-speed pitch, 0-1. Phillies picked up a huge home run. Alec Boehm, 2-run shot, 7-5, and I believe that game is over. Is it over? No, top of the 8th. Sorry, it's still going. Top of the 8th. Sir Anthony Dominguez in that game, but they're up 7-5 now. Sent back foul by Iser, and the Fightin's down to their final strike. The 0-2, and he goes down swinging 95 upstairs. And And that will end the season at home for the Fightins. 18 strikeouts, a tough loss for Reading as they're shut out 5-0 here in front of home. But we appreciate everybody coming out to our ballpark, spending the summer with us, and supporting us. Fightins take this series 4-2 after a tough Sunday loss, 5-0 to the Fisher Cats. And we have one more road trip, one more week. Next week we go to Altoona. 6 games there against the Pirates affiliate Tuesday through Sunday. I'll be on the air bringing you all the action from the road. Fans, thanks so much for tuning in. Emily Messina bringing you today's contest here. Your final score, New Hampshire 5, Reading 0.